All right, let's talk about a supplement that's everywhere in the fitness world right now, ashwagandha. But seriously, is it all just hype? Or is there some real science behind it for those of us who lift? Well, today we're going to dig into the research, separate the facts from the fiction, and see what this stuff can actually do for your training. Come on, you know the feeling, right? You're being super consistent, you're pushing hard in the gym, but you've just hit a wall. Progress has stalled out, you feel drained all the time, your numbers aren't budging, and recovery, man, it feels like it's taking forever. It is an incredibly frustrating place to be. And a lot of the time, this is the reason why. It's what I call the modern lifter's grind. Think about it. You've got the intense physical stress from your training, and then you pile the mental and emotional stress from life right on top of it. It's this double whammy that leads directly to those strength plateaus, that feeling of incomplete recovery, and, of course, terrible sleep that just sabotages all the hard work you're putting in. So the big question is, how do we break through that grind? Okay, here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to properly meet ashwagandha and see what it is. Then, we'll uncover how it pulls on your body's hidden levers. After that, we'll look at the actual proof, from the lab to the lifting platform. We'll build a practical game plan you can use, and finally, we'll figure out if this could be the missing link for you. All right, first things first, what is ashwagandha? It's not just some random herb. It actually belongs to this really special class of plants called adaptogens, and you can almost think of it like an ancient tool that's kind of perfectly suited for a very, very modern problem: total stress overload. So what does adaptogen actually mean? It's a pretty cool concept. It's a natural substance that helps your body, adapt to stress. But here's the key part. It works to bring your internal systems back to a state of balance, or what scientists call homeostasis. So it's not just blocking a response, it's helping your body regulate itself when it's under all kinds of physical and mental pressure. Okay, now for the really cool part, how does this stuff actually work? I promise it's not magic, it's straight up biology. Ashwagandha interacts with your body's internal systems, almost like it's finding and pulling on a series of hidden levers to produce all these effects. So check this out. This diagram basically shows the whole master plan, this incredible cascade effect. See, it all starts up in the brain, where ashwagandha can help improve your sleep quality. From there, better sleep helps regulate your adrenal glands, which in turn dials down that nasty stress hormone, cortisol. And when you lower cortisol, you create a much, much better environment for testosterone to do its job, and ultimately for your muscles to recover and grow. It's this awesome chain reaction. And this right here is probably one of the most important parts: the hormone seesaw. Just picture it. On one side, you've got cortisol, your stress hormone. When that side is high, it's catabolic. It can literally break down muscle tissue and slam the brakes on recovery. But on the other side, you have testosterone, an anabolic hormone that's absolutely crucial for building muscle. What the research shows is that ashwagandha helps lower cortisol, basically taking weight off the stress side of the seesaw and allowing that anabolic side to rise up. But let's be real. None of that awesome hormonal balance happens without this one thing: the foundation of it all, which is sleep. The science is super clear on this. Ashwagandha can increase your time in deep sleep, it can help you fall asleep faster, and even improve your mental alertness when you wake up. And look, for any lifter, better sleep is the ultimate performance enhancer. It directly fuels your recovery and your hormone production. Full stop. Okay, so the biology is fascinating for sure. But here's the question we all really care about. Does it actually make you stronger? Let's take this out of the lab and onto the lifting platform and look at the proof in the performance. So the big takeaway from all the research is this: the effects go way beyond just feeling a little less stressed out. We're talking about multiple meta-analyses, which are studies that review the results of many clinical trials. And they've all concluded that ashwagandha supplementation directly leads to real, measurable improvements in both strength and power. And we're not talking about small, insignificant changes. We're talking about tangible gains you can actually feel in the gym. Studies have documented significant improvements in 1-rep maxes on lifts like the bench press, as well as measurable strength increases in the squat and the leg extension. And it's not just about brute strength either. Participants also saw an increase in their power output, measured by things like their vertical jump. Now, recovery, this is where things get really, really interesting. When researchers measured how recovered people felt, the group taking ashwagandha reported way less muscle fatigue than the group taking a placebo. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means you can potentially train harder and bounce back faster between your sessions, and that is the real secret sauce for long-term progress. But wait, there's more. Beyond just performance, the research points to another major benefit for anyone focused on their physique. It looks like ashwagandha can support some really favorable changes in your body composition. So, how exactly does it help you build a better physique? Well, it's kind of like a three-pronged attack. First, it seems to boost the muscle mass you're already building from your training. At the same time, it helps reduce your body fat percentage. And finally, by keeping that stress hormone cortisol in check, it might even help you fight off those stress-induced food cravings that can completely derail your diet. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so the science is definitely promising. So how do you actually put it to work for yourself? Let's build a practical game plan based on what the clinical trials have shown to be the most effective. Don't worry, it's a pretty simple three-step process. First up, quality really matters. You want to look for a standardized root extract, because that's what's typically used in the actual research. Second, consistency is everything. This is a supplement you need to take daily, not just on the days you train. And third, and this is a big one, you gotta be patient. The research shows that the most powerful effects are seen after about 8 weeks or more of consistent use. Now let's talk about dosage, because the research shows it really matters. Doses under 600 milligrams a day, yeah, they're effective for general stress and performance benefits. But the data is crystal clear that doses at or above 600 milligrams a day deliver a much more powerful effect, especially when it comes to significantly improving your sleep quality. Okay, but what about safety? Is this stuff safe to take? Well, the good news is that across dozens and dozens of clinical trials, ashwagandha has a really excellent safety profile. It's generally well tolerated. The most common side effects people reported were pretty mild things like drowsiness, which interestingly also happened a lot in the placebo groups. Now, it is important to mention that very rare cases of reversible liver injury have been documented. So as with any supplement, it's always a smart move to talk to your doctor before you start, especially if you have any pre-existing health conditions. All right, we've covered the what, the how, and the why. So now we're at the final rep. Let's wrap this all up and figure out if ashwagandha could actually be the missing link in your training. Okay, let's recap the most crucial points here. First, ashwagandha is an adaptogen that fights stress by helping to lower cortisol. This kicks off a whole cascade of benefits that support your strength, your power, and your muscle recovery. It does a lot of this by improving your sleep quality, which we all know is the absolute cornerstone of making gains. Look, it's not a magic pill, but it is a well-researched tool that can seriously augment a solid training and nutrition plan. And that leaves us with one final question to think about. We focus so much on our programming, our volume, our diet, but what if the key to unlocking your next level of performance isn't just about lifting heavier, but about managing stress better? It's some powerful food for thought. Hey, if you found this breakdown helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the science of performance. Thanks so much for watching.